You're watching the PlantX vodcast. Join us as we explore the inner workings of all things plant-based and all things PlantX, from the products and lifestyles to the people behind them. Now welcome our host, the man who combined his love of e-commerce and the plant-based lifestyle to create PlantX, Shawn Dollinger.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of our PlantX vodcast. And I'm on the road today. And, unfortunately, right before the vodcast was about to start, my phone got reset. So I'm just going to slide this back in so that I could be able to present. So sorry about that. And, welcome to a vodcast. And again, what PlantX is all about, we're your one-stop shop for everything plant-based. So if you're looking for meal groceries, bunch of different groceries on the website, anything from plant-based pet food, etc., delivered to your doorstep. So, again, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for our investors, shareholders, customers, spreading the word about what PlantX is all about. Tonight, we're going to be speaking to one person, Shawn, the founder of another publicly traded company in Canada, along with his executive chairman, Alex. And I just had a chance to speak to them a little bit. And again, they're amazed by the whole plant-based space and the different products that they have coming on board, and everything that they're doing is quite incredible. They started back in 2018, so slightly before us. So it'll be really nice to hear from another publicly traded company. This week, we opened San Diego. So for all of our investors and shareholders who follow us on social, I'm sure you saw all the pictures. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be at the opening, but everybody writing in from the vegan waffles that we have, that basically gluten-free, plant-based, absolutely unbelievable. The coffee, Daniel and his team have done an unbelievable job in training the staff. And when people ask, aren't we an e-commerce company at the end of the day? I tell people there's $3 trillion companies that I know off the top of my head that have many brick and mortar locations. Tesla, Apple, Amazon acquiring Whole Foods. And there's a reason why these $1 trillion companies do it. It's still really important to be in contact, to understand who your customer is so that you could educate, teach, and introduce them to your platform. I've said it before, Tesla, taking the market share in the car space, it just wouldn't have happened if they didn't open those incredible showrooms, allowed people to come in, touch, and educate. And that's what we even saw in San Diego. People coming in and being like, wow, I can't believe all of these products are plant-based. And that's what really gets us motivated and excited. Our team worked around the clock to get the store up and operational, which will allow us to create that footprint across Canada, which we went ahead and announced last week into the Bay, in Ottawa and Toronto, to be able to get that presence for same-day delivery and everything the technology team's working with. On that note, let's bring on our guests for today. Shawn, Alex, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Shawn.
Thanks for having us. It's our pleasure.
So, guys, it's the first time that we have two guests on. So we always start our podcasts by asking, how do you take your coffee?
Sure, I can start with that. I'm more of a marathon type of guy, so it's important that I'm good there for the long haul and make the rest of the day. So I used to be an espresso guy, then I noticed that I was having way too many of those to stay healthy. So I take my coffee. It's usually bold flavored, black, no sugar, no cream. That's kind of how I shifted right now to my coffee preference.
Awesome.
I'm an Americano with a splash of oat milk.
Hey, that's nice. The way I do it, but decaf. That's the only difference between the way we do it. And this week I've actually been doing mint tea with oat milk, and it's been phenomenal. So really? Yeah, it's really, really great. Shawn, maybe we'll start with you. Maybe you could tell us how you started the company, why you started the company, and what it's all about.
Sure. So Plant&Co started out to solve a need, and that need didn't really start with one missing product or one missing brand. there was a need in the consumer base for customers to have a trusted source, a house of brands, if you will. Something that would have a wide range of portfolio of plant-based goods, things that consumers can really rely upon to deliver great quality, great taste, and be true to their expectations. That's how we formed the basis of the company. We didn't want to be pigeonholed in a specific category or limitations of having just one product or one category of product. We wanted to make it a wide variety across the plant-based spectrum. So when we looked at the landscape last year, we formulated a strategy to create a portfolio of delicious plant-based brands, which on the vision on the outset would include dozens of brands and brand names that go synonymous with great food, great quality, and a great price. So when you're really good at one thing, we try to stick with that and continually make it great for the customer. So we thought, why not create and acquire the best of the best and let them continue doing exactly what they're good at, creating great products. And so that was the basis of the company, and it's been full force ever since.
Love it. And I still remember we had one investor that basically invested in both of our companies and kept blowing us up about how amazing your products are and how great they are. And I'm happy to hear when we started speaking earlier today that we're going to be onboarding your products onto the website and getting them out throughout Canada here in the next little bit. So
yep, that's awesome.
Yeah, awesome job. And maybe we'll give this one to Alex. Alex, at the end of the day, business grows. You've spoken to me a little bit about how you've scaled businesses. Obviously, this plant-based space is here to stay. What kind of challenges or what type of advice could you give while you scale the business up in this kind of industry? What do you need to look for?
Well, I think there's a number of factors. My background's in the restaurant space, and I think it all comes down to taste and flavor profile, which is critically important. But one thing I've learned about this business and just the food business in general, whether it be restaurant or CPG or anything sold on an online platform, it's patience. It takes time to build strong brands that withstand the test of time, and this is a category that's growing pace, and it just takes time and patience, and it takes the same sort of formula that we've used over the years, which is find a great product, develop the product, build the ethos of the brand, and put the right people in place to make sure that product and that brand can continue to grow.
Yeah, I think that's great advice, and absolutely. And then Shawn, I know you guys were publicly traded a couple of years before us, and the Canadian capital market space is a unique one, where there's a lot of different protocols to follow and a lot of companies come on. What's the best advice you could give to companies coming out who think they want to go public, should they stay private? What's your opinion on all of that?
Well, I'd say after being in it for a while, the fundamentals are key. Patience will pay off. Everybody would love for their company's stock to go through the roof, but it's the sustained growth in the business that keeps your stock up. Continue to work on fundamental business initiatives, grow the revenue line, basically treat every dollar that's in the company from investors as your last dollar. And how would you grow that? How would you make $1 equal 2 to equal 3? Right? And you have to run your business to stand on its own 2 feet from day one. And investors and raises will be there for inorganic growth or large M&As, but organic growth has to be the focus and the core of your business. And if you focus on that and be self-sustaining, I think you'll drive the most shareholder value for your investor base. And it's probably the best advice I can give is just run it as if every dollar was your last, make it successful from the beginning.
I think that's great advice because, I've definitely been approached with hundreds of deals out there, and that's definitely not the approach. It's basically raise till your next raise is needed, So great advice. And obviously, this is a live podcast. As we saw at the start of this, it went down right away and came back. So anything could happen. But the beauty about it is we get live questions while we're on these podcasts. And we love to encourage people to write in. Somebody that's been really active on our Instagram is Kevin Moan on Instagram. So we're going to send out a nice assortment of plants from our warehouse for them. So again, and today it's unbelievable. Even though we changed up the time, and great job to Adam and Christian and Jacqueline, who do a great job communicating with the investors. As you guys know, it's so important to communicate at the end of the day. But the amount of questions, and it seems like a lot of people know about your brand, which is really great. Like Jake Graham, highest potential, the Yam Chops product, so seems like people really know what you guys do out there. So I know a little bit what we spoke about before also was your M&A strategy. We see different categories coming up, like the alternative milk section, from hemp to oat to almond. Is that an area that you'll be looking to go into for M&A, or are you guys planning on, sticking with kind of what you're doing so far?
Well, I can say in that category, we're probably just getting started. We did 2 M&As this year. We have a couple more on the plate. We press released our strategy is both organic and inorganic growth. What we want to do is make sure that we have a well-rounded portfolio of brands from that A to Z. So much like your platform, you can go and receive and look at different brands and basically get anything under the sun that's plant-based. We want to go in the different verticals in the plant-based space and make sure that we get the best of the best, whether that's organic and grow our own brands in-house, or we go and acquire. And on that, as a house of brands, as a company, we have a few plant-based categories that we still have to knock off and kind of check that box for the growth strategy of 2022. So that being said, with any growth strategy, you want to ensure you don't bite off more than you can chew. So they don't have to be staggered across. Make sure that you acquire a brand, you integrate it well, you optimize it, you make money for the company, derive shareholder value, then go out and make your next smart play, get that next smart money deal that you have with M&A. And, one thing I do say, it's dealing with a global pandemic has been a little bit tricky, as I'm sure, a lot of people can attest to. So it's tremendously important that we do smart financial decisions and acquisitions to continue our organic and inorganic growth strategy. So I'd say we're just getting started on that, and we'll see over the next couple months how it all plays out. And then investors will see what we press released a few weeks ago as a strategy will come into play over the next few months on the M&A side.
That's what I love about public markets, is that you get to go out and press release and tell them what you're planning on doing. And it's easy to make sure a company's executing. While on the private space, anybody could say anything, and you never know if they execute, right? So, right. Alex, did you have anything to add to Shawn's comment?
Yeah, no, I think that our plan was to, when we got involved in this business over the summertime, we saw this as an opportunity just based on our experience. But our plan is to be a house of brands, and we're going to have a number of different verticals in the business that we've been working towards. And I think it's the brands are important. The categories that we want to be in from a food standpoint are critical, and also the people that we're getting involved with. Right, we're investing in brands and we're investing in people. That's a big part of our growth strategy. It's always been a big significant part of my growth strategy in the businesses that I've had in the past. It's building the right team. I can't stress that enough.
Right, 100% on the team front. And when I heard a bit of your background, it definitely speaks wonders for your guys' company, having somebody that knows how to take a concept, execute on it, and then actually be able to sell it off and kind of start up again. And yeah. I spoke about this a few weeks back. It's amazing how no matter what you study in school, no matter what you do to educate yourself, reading books, etc., it's when you actually live the experience, the way that your mind and your brain absorb what's actually taking place, to be able to do it again, right? Yeah. That's why we see people who have a very successful exits go and start up again. It's not like they're lucky. It always drives me nuts when people say people are lucky. I think it's about putting in that extra time, that extra work, and then positioning yourself in a space or in a situation that allows you to have opportunity. And that's what I categorize as luck at the end of the day,
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, we talked about it earlier, I think before the podcast started, that a big part of what we're trying to do here, it takes time and takes patience, right? When you're building a company, especially in the food category, you've got to take the right steps, you've got to make the right investments, and it takes time. And that's really what determines, the longevity of that brand, right? So I think, I'm excited to be involved. I think we have some tremendous products, coupled with the acquisitions that we're looking at. the future definitely looks bright for Plant&Co.
Awesome. You could definitely tell you're speaking from experience, because every person that I speak to wants us to be $1 billion company tomorrow. And believe me, I want to be as well. But it takes time, like you said, to build out everything that we're all have the vision to set out and execute on. And, you guys sound like you're doing an amazing job. PlantX is doing a fabulous job. We just launched our e-commerce distribution out of Squamish, out of our store. So when your products are in there, right away, distribution throughout all of Canada, as well as same-day delivery in Squamish and Vancouver, which is a tremendous market. So we're excited for that. Let's jump into a few of the questions while we have a few minutes. This one's for me, Anthony Evan. Have you ever tried Veggie Farm? And what we always encourage our investors and shareholders, and even our customers, of course, to do, if they don't find a product on our website, send in an email. It never goes unnoticed. We always take the time to read it and send it on to the merchandising team who reviews it, make sure that it fits the criteria of PlantX, and then it'll be brought into our stores in North America and soon overseas. We're just a few weeks away from that. So Jake Graham asked, what's the Yam Chops expansion plan? Is franchising still in the works?
So there's a lot of things going on the Yam Chops front. We have a lot of exciting brands and reformulations coming out. And the franchise part, as Alex said, it takes time. So the franchising is there. Right now, we're looking at how to best formulate it. So it's not something that's gone away. We just want to make sure that when we're ready to launch that. And then before, about 6 months ago, when we launched the sign-up form, we got 1,100 subscribers, people that wanted to learn more and find out more of how to open up their own Yam Chops. So the demand is there, and that's step number one, making sure you have a brand that you can franchise and products that people love. We're working with Alex and the rest of the board to make sure that that's the best product offering before we launch that full force. So it's still on there. It's still part of the growth trajectory for the company.
Love it. And that's great. And then Juan Campo said, I don't know if you guys heard, but we're actually making an application to move up to the TSX, not the TSXV, but the actual TSX. So we're really, really excited about that. So he's just saying it allows for institutional investors. Another investor asks, they're looking for a plant-based cheese that melts well. Would you happen to know of one?
Alex, you want to take this one?
Yeah, listen, I mean, in my background, we in the restaurant business, we looked far and wide for a plant-based cheese that actually melted well, that would go on a burger or on pizza. And there's a number of brands out of Greece that have actually done a great job, and the name's escaping me right now, but I have yet to find one that's ubiquitous that really works as well as it should. But I think we're getting there. I think that there's a number of companies that are coming out there that are developing some tremendous products, and hopefully I'll remember that name. But there's a number of brands coming out of Greece where the development of vegan cheeses is pretty incredible.
I agree. The plant-based products coming out of Greece are absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
The quality of them, the way they taste, these feta cheeses that are out of there, they're like blow your mind. Last night I was at a Halloween party, and I said we could blindfold everybody in this room and do a wine and cheese taste, and nobody would know the difference. I would be shocked if people could guess what's a cheese and what's not these days. Yeah.
I know that there's a couple of companies that there's the Future of Cheese here in Toronto. That is a new company that's developing a number of cheeses. And I know there's one out in BC called Blue Heron Creamery that they're doing some wonderful work as well. I mean, not cheese that you would use on a pizza or a burger to melt, but still some, wonderful aged cheeses.
Yeah, there's this company out of Ontario as well called Cultured. Check it out, and their butter is absolutely amazing.
Phenomenal. Yeah, they've got some great products.
Yeah, cool. Well, guys, thank you very much. Thank you for bearing with us on time changes and all that. I know that we were bouncing around all weekend long. Our investors and shareholders really appreciate people coming and sharing, and we look forward to being partners with yourself. That's what we love, and that's why I love building out platforms, because every single person is our partner out there. And I don't need to tell you guys how much work goes into building a brand. You guys are a full team working on that, And then we act as the platform to educate the end user on the amazing products out there. So thank you very much for rolling out great products, and it means our customers get more amazingness.
Awesome. Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much, Shawn.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Cheers. So thanks again for joining us a little bit later than usual. Really appreciate you taking the time. Again, I pulled the Novo reports this week, and the team now sees over 10,000 plus, again, shareholders and investors in the company. For the holiday season, look out for mail outs. We're going ahead, and the X VIP program, which is about to be our new VIP program for PlantX, we're introducing and welcoming all of our shareholders and investors at absolutely no cost whatsoever to join the platform. There's going to be some really exciting things that'll be part of the platform. And again, those should be going out in the next 30 days or so for the holiday season. Twice a year, we do mailers to absolutely every shareholder and investor to get you guys included, for you to try out the platform and really see what it's all about. Because if you're investing, you should definitely be a customer to experience how PlantX is different. Just for fun, you should even call our phone number on the website. Kelly, who leads the customer service team, who is down in San Diego, helping with the open, educating. You'd see the type of person who's really involved in PlantX. And that's the only way that we've been able to grow at the accelerated rate that we have up to now. And look forward to keeping our heads down and building out the business. Again, for anybody who's watching from Vancouver, in the next couple of weeks, you'll be able to try out our same-day delivery, which we're really excited about. But for now, you could even get next-day delivery. So please go ahead and try out the platform. Until next week, stay curious, stay planted, stay healthy. Cheers.
Thanks for watching the PlantX Vodcast. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. For more information, go to investor.plantx.com. See you next time.